All right, we're going to take a look at the article written by, I think, literally a crazy person who might actually be dangerous. Here's why Star Wars didn't work. White men are really awesome. Star Wars said otherwise. That's it. It is okay to hate stupid movies by filthy, parasitical vermin, commie degenerates. They are the bad guys. We are awesome. At first I was going to say we're the cool guys, but that's not exactly true. Looking at this crop of people, cool isn't the appellation I would apply. But we're the good people. And we are awesome. Though not cool. And it sucks that creative people are so freaking fruity. Okay, so the alt-right Star Wars problem. The secret Star Wars Nazis. I bet you didn't know there was an alt-right Star Wars problem. I wish the alt-right would make Star Wars films. I don't know if they'd be any better, but my God, they couldn't be any worse. In a perfect world, I would have redone the Disney trilogy with a cast that looks like the 1977 cast. Woke films run into this problem. They're not trying to tell artistically pleasing stories that, also turn a profit. They are political propaganda vehicles that strictly push globalism. That's as simple as it gets. The problem is that globalism sucks. It is fundamentally flawed. And everyone knows it. People are very tribal. They want to be around people who have similar societal roles, where body language and facial expressions are well known and long understood. You see what happens when cultures mix. You get Antifa and BLM. Society breaks down. You know what? Let me just see if I can scroll through this as I talk to give you some idea of the length of it. So, Disney Star Wars is a story with themes of how diversity is a strength, but it's not. It is weakness, and for proof of that, all you need to do is turn on the news. The story has an English, a Vietnamese, a Nigerian, and a Spanish characters, with some flirting going on from the Vietnamese girl to Finn, who is justifiably disgusted by it because Rose Tico is hideously ugly. Finn can do much better. He is lusting after the Aussie girl who looks like a horse so he can introduce her to the joys. Oh, well, I skipped that part. But she wisely spurs his advances and wets her panties over the Darth Vader character. But nothing happens with that relationship because it's between two heterosexual European people, and in peak Weimar current year, that is not allowed. I am sure Roundhead and Big Nose wanted to pair off Finn and Horseface, but they probably felt the Chinese audience wouldn't go for it. They don't worry about the American audience because America is cucked. Massively cucked. They'll just take whatever is given them. So Marxist films and comics have a reoccurring theme, replacing the blood family with a new diverse found family, but it fundamentally goes against reality. A found family is rootless. It has no shared history or values. It is doomed to wither and die. Tribes with in-group preference will dominate. People don't fight and sacrifice so somebody of a different tribe's bloodlines may prosper. Woke stories don't stand the test of time because they are anti-human. They go against a lived reality that humans know is true. In the original Star Wars, Luke, Han, Leia, Obi-Wan at least looked like they belonged together. You could envision that Han and Leia would go off and have a bunch of kids who would carry on traditions and they would build their own empire. The story dealt with bloodlines and redemptions. In Disney's version, Horseface goes off to become a lonely old cat lady. Yeah, that's just a good point. Yeah. If she's a Jedi, then her job is to have kids. She should have seduced Luke, which I know that's kind of an old-fashioned. And how would that have triggered the commie kids on Twitter if Rey, who is I think 25 in the movie, and Luke, who's probably 60, if she seduced him, and then the ending scene is she's rubbing her belly bump and she's getting pregnant with twins. Like, they didn't show, her hooking up with Luke, but like the ending, she's going off to raise these kids because she's got 2 more twins or something. Wouldn't that be kind of cool? I mean, it would. It's like they're both of age and they are both super Jedis, but anyway. you could have super Jedi kids. But presumably she went to live in a mud hut on Bumfuckistan. So her story and the story ends right there. There is no foundation built, no continuation of a story. All these diverse characters are just going to go their separate ways at the end of the story. This is just developmentally disabled ramblings of a crazy person. All these diverse characters are going to go their separate ways. Half of the characters are dead and the rest have nothing in common. Are Finn and Poe supposed to go off together and try to make butt babies? Maybe they can adopt Rose Tico as an ugly house girl. Nothing in Star Wars makes sense because humans are tribal and they know that unity and cohesion is a strength. A diverse story is built on sand. There's nowhere to go with it. It is a genetic dead end. People look around at diversity and they see nonstop crime and violence. It clearly doesn't work. It has never worked. It never will work. And don't accuse me of being istophobic for simply pointing out reality. Just welcome to reality. You've got to deal with it on its own terms. We don't want to watch a diverse abortion on screen. If anything, if you tell me the Empire is a unified tribe of the same people, then I am rooting for the Empire. Hashtag Vader did nothing wrong, because the Empire has a foundation in the original trilogy. It was all Englishmen, at least in the command structure. So I look at the structure and order of the Empire versus the diverse chaos of breastless, blue-haired, elderly lesbians talking down to her crew, and I hope the Empire wipes them all off the map. Please, by all means, genocide all those blue-haired commies. The Disney story falls apart because we know that women are not leaders. Sorry for saying the truth. Which was shown in the films itself. The women were horrible. Roundhead and Big Nose wanted to show that women can be better than men, then they portray them as petty, vindictive, shrilling, harpy idiots. Women are not leaders. Stop trying to force the square peg. You're in a long war. Women would not be in the military. They'd be home raising the next generation, because that is how biology works. Again, reality. A fertile young woman is much more biologically valuable than a man. Woke films are trying to tell stories that go against biology, which is why everything about globalism feels silly and dark and nefarious. But they're going to keep making these propaganda films, and we're going to laugh at them, or will we? They lost their minds when people didn't like Star Wars. How dare we disagree with the New World Order? Anyone who thinks differently must be deplatformed, which is what is happening now. They're trying to kick Jeremy and EVS and the rest of those people, Yellow Flash, Tug, off of YouTube. I hope they do. If everyone went to Odyssey and BitChute, they could have YouTube all to themselves. It would be nothing but cat videos and, those soy-face thumbnails about guys, just gross, like low testosterone. There's a lot of low testosterone people on YouTube. It is better to go over to Odyssey now in force than to get kicked off one by one. At the very least, clone Odyssey and BitChute to your YouTube channel. It does it automatically when you sign up. You don't have to lift a finger. Odyssey and BitChute will port all or at least Odyssey is really easy. It just does it automatically. It takes all your YouTube videos over there. It takes a day or something. Give people incentive to leave the platform. Have a bunch of channels, the big channels like Mecha, Yellow Flash, Doug Tenaple, EVS, Tug, Jeremy, whoever else. Start doing a weekly live stream on Dlive. Then when Odyssey and Gab TV go live, go over there. You guys have more power together than you do apart. If the people of Soy really want to kick you off, they will do it. And I suspect that EVS is target number one. There's something about him that drives these commie cat ladies absolutely insane. Which is funny because he and the rest of the people mentioned in this article, written by a madman, are not alt-right, who I suspect is probably on the spectrum somewhere. They would be a lot cooler if they were. Cernovich, Milo Yiannopoulos, Dave Rubin are all homosexuals. If they're in the alt-right, then the term is meaningless. It just means someone who isn't literally a Bolshevik. Go ahead, kick them off YouTube. That would make Odyssey the next big thing. These commie kids spurg out when people don't like Star Wars because it's a rejection of the global homo agenda. The Disney films are just Pravda levels of propaganda where blonde man bad and the diverse people are the heroes. Except we look around and we know this narrative is insane. Blonde men are awesome. Look at Europe, Canada, and America. 90% of everything cool is because of white dudes. But in movies and comics, they are portrayed as bad because the people who make comics and films really, really hate the beautiful people of the light, which I will continue to point out until I get kicked off YouTube, which, hey, I can't believe I'm on here this long. I go back and look at those old videos and think, wow, thank God nobody saw those things. These Marxists fear people shining a light on their hatred. They panic when you notice the man behind the curtain. If the Phantom Menace and Comicsgate get their creators to go over to Odyssey, it would be an important step in creating truly parallel social places. Look at how YouTube has changed over the years. Now, just simply extrapolate into the future. Your time is not long. Go over to the start page. This thing just goes on and on. The recommended page, the cat videos and girls in yoga pants doing protein shakes and stuff like that. That is the future of YouTube. Phantom Menace, Yellow Flash, EVS, Doug TenNapel, those guys are going to go. And everyone else, like Phantom Menace is a little bit more to the left than Comicsgate. They're going to go too, because they're just not what YouTube wants. Sometimes I really love EVS. That guy can be friggin' funny. Obviously, this is just a joke to get clicks on video. It worked very, very well. They try to turn this into something where, like 10 years ago, this wouldn't be an issue. 5 years ago, it wouldn't be an issue. But now it's an issue. It's practically a hate crime. Yeah, if they want to kick you off, they're going to kick you off. I don't want to see anyone Comicsgate or Phantom Menace hurt. Go together while you have strength in your numbers. This thing just goes on and on and on. This was written by a crazy person. I hope you made about the author. Hosted by Katie, and so you're anonymous. Great. All right, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. I will see you all on Odyssey, on BitChute, Gab and Gab TV when they go live. I cannot wait for that. All right, guys. I'll see you next channel.